G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, what a difference a week makes. Hey, I think you can call me RC Lance from now on. Well, I cleaned the dams out last week, and then this week, this Saturday gone, we got a few storms through, and I have a bit of water in the dams, and I've just been down, I've just gone for a bit of a walk. It looks like we may even get another shower shortly with any luck. So, but yeah, on Saturday at 4 AM, we got a bit of a storm happening, and we got 27 millimetres of rain in that storm, which for those in the US is a bit over an inch. 25's an inch, so a bit over an inch there, and look, that probably put so much in the dams. Not a lot, but it's just been muggy, and we thought, oh yeah, there's something hanging around, and in Australia I subscribe to a company called Higgins Storm Chasing, and they have about the most reliable weather reports that I've around our area, and they said, oh, you're going to get plenty more yet. So we thought, well, that'll be good. But through the day we had a few rumbly storms go around, and enough to scare old Kelly dog, but not enough to get wet. And anyway, 11 o'clock on Saturday evening, we had a storm come through, and we were just on the edge of it. But look, just on the edge was good enough. That was 40 millimetres of rain. So 40 mils is inch and a half, something like that, of rain. And look, that was great. That gave us, it come down that quick that gave us some runoff rain, and we got a bit of water in the dams. After cleaning them out last week, we'd have a good few feet of water in the dams now. We've been cleaning out the strainers on the tanks up at the house, and all the tanks up at the house are almost overflowing. We had another 5 millimetres of rain yesterday, just in odd little scuds coming through. So the sky's still, it's grey, looks like it's going to rain out here, and it's sunny out here. So who knows, it's still hanging around, it's hot. You can see I'm sweating. And look, the weather's only about 30 degrees at the moment, but it's muggy. It's really humid at the moment. So after the stew last week, Judy doesn't like me hopping up on the roof of Bundy Bear's shed here because it's 5 metres to the gutter, and it's 16 feet to the gutter, and she doesn't like me hopping up there, and she reckons I'll fall off and break my neck or something or other. But anyway, she went to work last Monday, and I snuck up onto the shed here. And I've had some gutter guard stuff at the back of Bundy Bear's shed, and I put it up 20 years ago, and it had sort of collapsed a little bit, and yeah, it was just full of leaves. So I dragged the pressure cleaner up onto the roof, and I spent last Monday cleaning the gutters up at the shed. The front one wasn't bad, but the back one, because it's close to the bush, had a lot of leaves and a lot of junk in it. So I hopped up there and I cleaned all that out, and then I've been cleaning the strainer on the tank every day. So the tank at the back here is overflowing at the back of Bundy Bear's shed. The high tank, I'm pumping out of this to the high tank at the moment still, which I'll remain to do. The roof on Bundy Bear's shed is 300 square metres. I don't know what that is in square feet. Multiplied by 3 and a bit. So put 900 or 950 square feet or something. And so anyway, if we're just getting little scuds of rain through, that tank will stay overflowing, and I can remember that tank just dribbling over from a dew in the morning, heavy dew. So I'm going to leave the high tank that we use for the toilets in the house, I'm going to leave that hooked up to the back just for the moment. When we pump out of the dam after a bit of rain, you can see from the video I've just gone and taken of the dams that it's quite dirty water, and it stains the toilets, and it looks terrible. So while we got the water, we're going to leave it up the top there, and even if I drop this one by a third, that's plenty of water up the back here for washing tractors, and yeah, like I say, you get a good dew, and you can hear it trickling in there. So look, that's a good thing. The paddocks really come back quickly the front paddock where I've done a little motocross track for the kids. Oh look, the grass is this high already, and that part of the paddock always really did take off. It was always the greenest area. We've got 8 acres here, but there's probably an acre and a half up the front there. You only needed to spit on it and it'd come up green just about. So it's really green, and the rest of the paddock's greening up, but it's sort of sparse. But it's thick as buggery up the front there. So look, that's a great thing. So look, it's been a great week for that. As for working in Bundy Bear's shed here, I haven't done a lot. Last week on the Monday, like I say, I spent most of the day, I got a good sunburn out of it, and most of the day up on the roof, pressure cleaning 80 foot of gutter each side, and then cleaning the roof down. Then we have solar panels up the top here, so cleaning them down, and so yeah, not much shed time really. Yesterday I come up the back and I painted the brackets for the lights on the 135, and today, if the weather remains half reasonable, I'm going to I've taken a drag link off one of the 35s here, and we're going to try and paint that and get all that grey finished and the bracket for the trailer and all that, just to do that, because it's sort of holding me up for the wiring until I can get that bit done. I've also put a headlight switch in the dash, and I've shifted the indicator switch down. I'm going to use the one with a little plastic lever on it. The lever's a bit piss weak, I think, but anyway, hopefully it won't be a problem for what we're doing, and yeah, we'll just see how that goes. The drawbar studs that we were talking about last week for going under the tractors, the 3/4 ones worked out well. Now, the drawbar under the 135 here is a old 65 one, and they're 3/4 of an inch thick at the back, but they're only about 5/16 at the front. So for fitting them at the front there, there'll probably need to be a washer, but we're advertising them as a 100 series one, and the 100 series had 3/4 plates. So, and it's a stud kit. So, pardon me. We couldn't find the 4 studs that go around the PDO, where your check chains go. We have found them now. They were just in a different section. I don't know why I couldn't find them. Yeah, couldn't see for looking. And so we've got a little kit worked out there now for that, and I fitted that on the 135 on Saturday morning just to give that a run and just make sure it was okay before we put it out for retail use. I haven't got it out there yet, but yeah, now I know it fits and it works okay, and all that, it will be out. So today, hopefully, I can get a little bit done there. Through the week, we were talking to the kids about motorbikes and mucking around, and the little fella next door come over and had a run around the dam when I'd cleaned it out, up and down the hills and all that, and boy, he did well. And that got me thinking. I thought, oh geez, I should get the kids some motorbikes, get the grandkids a couple of little cheapies, and see if they like ripping around here, because it's not inside stuff, and my young bloke Tim, he likes video games and movies, and they spend a lot of their time inside, and where I don't like inside. I come inside my shed. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll have a look around, see if I can buy a little mini bike for them. So I have a little Dextron one there, but the wheels are too little, I thought. So I thought I'd look for a little Yamaha Pw50. Pardon me. And on a little Yamaha Pw50, the reason I was looking for one of them is they have a shaft drive, not a chain drive, a bit safer for the kids. On the hand throttle, where you open the hand throttle up, there's a little screw, and you can restrict the screw a little bit, just to get them going slowly. And they have 12-inch rims, I think, 10-inch rims. Anyway, they have bigger wheels and things like that. Still a centrifugal clutch, no gears, just open him up and off you go, and 2 handbrakes. And so I thought, I'll have a look around for one of them. So I went to all the motorbike shops in town, and there's just nothing around. As soon as those little bikes get into motorbike shops, they're gone. They're just a sought after thing. one shop had a second-hand little Honda CFX, I think they call them, 50 for $1,600 second-hand, and the Yamaha place, which I'd prefer to deal with, which I know, they said as soon as they're in there, especially sort of after Christmas now, they're gone quickly, but a little Yamaha 50 in Australia here, he'd let me have one for $2,099. So I thought, oh, bugger that, it was more than I was prepared to spend. So I thought I'll just have a look at the marketplace and just around, you know, on eBay, Gumtree and all that sort of thing. So so anyway, I found a little Pw50, and a young bloke had it up the road, 20 k's, and he did up motorbikes, and I'll take my hat off to him. He's going to uni next year. He's just finished grade 12, and he sort of does up these little motorbikes and hocks them off, you know, makes a few bob out of them. He had a few there, about 5 motorbikes there, you know, big ones, 450s and 250s, but he had I went up to have a look at this little Yamaha Pw50, and he showed me, he said, oh look, I've put new plastics on it, and he said, here's the old plastics, you're welcome to have them if you like. So I said, yeah, all right. So I bought the bike, and he said, I've got another one there, you want to have a look? He said, I haven't got it finished yet. And I went and had a look at it, and I thought, oh yeah, it looks all right. And he said, I'll do a deal for 2. And I had a look and I thought, oh yeah, bugger it, yeah, get the kids one each. And they're only a few $100s each, and they started and run nicely, but the one he was working on needed a new air cleaner box and a new tube in the back tyre. It had kept going flat on him, so I said, yeah, look, just get the new parts and we'll be our way. So I got the one home, got the one in the back of the ute, little black one, and I got all the genuine Yamaha plastics and tanks and all that sort of stuff that was on it, the old stuff. And he said, oh, I've got spare carbies and spare cables and things like that for these little bikes, because he was going to uni, so he sort of let me have the lot. And I said, yeah, all right. So we did a deal for the 2, and I paid for one and took it, and the other one I just put a deposit on. And anyway, I thought, oh well, the kids need helmets, so I went into the Yamaha shop in town, and I was talking to Luke in there at Bundy Outdoor Power Centre, and I paid for a couple of helmets for the kids, a blue one for the little fella and a pink one for Airy, and they just had to, either with their mum or their dad, had to go and fit them and yeah, make sure they got the right size for them. And so I did that, and I'm having a yarn to Luke there, and I said, oh, I've got a little PW, and he said, oh, is that it out there? And I said, yeah. And he says, oh, is it a genuine one? Or he said, there's a few Chinese knockoffs of these bikes around, you know. And I said, oh, is that? I had no idea, and I didn't. And he says, yeah, what's your serial number? And I said, oh, I don't know, I didn't even bloody look. It's a kid's bike, you know, it's a toy. And he said, oh, you want me to have a look for you? And I said, yeah, all right, that'd be interesting, just to know what to look at. So he goes out and has a look at the serial number, and he says, Lance, this is a Chinese knockoff. And I said, but I got the genuine tank and the genuine seat and all that. And he said, yeah, look, it's a knockoff. He says they're only worth a few $100 each. And he said the serial number on the head of them lets you know that, and he said on the genuine ones on the right hand side cover it's got Yamaha, and this one didn't have that, which I didn't know to look for that even. And so we had a look at the serial number, and he said the serial number on a proper Yamaha Pw50 starts with J, yet the Chinese knockoff ones they start with L. And I thought, oh shit, eh? So I bought it as a genuine one. So I went back to talk to this young bloke, and I said, yeah, that bike that you sold me as a genuine one, it's a knockoff one. And he said, no, he said, look, this next one, he says, I think that's a knockoff one. But he said, this one's genuine. He says, yeah, you got all the stuff and all that. And I said, no. I've just been into Yamaha and having a yarn to Luke, and this is a knockoff. He said, oh shit, sorry. And he said, well, you want your money back, or what do you want to do? And I said, no, but I said, I think we should renegotiate our deal, because I said I was planning on buying this little Yamaha Pw50 and tidying it up. Then when the grandkids were finished with it, I'd pick up a few bob on it or get me money back at least, and you know, trade up to the next size if we needed to. And the next ones I'd make sure I bought genuine, but these little ones, the kids don't care, you know, they're just having fun in it, and it goes like a bloody rocket, this little thing. And so anyway, we had a bit of a chat, and yeah, I got my bikes a lot cheaper. And so being Chinese knockoffs, now I know they're Chinese knockoffs, and look, it goes good. And so yeah, I got them a couple $100 a piece cheaper, so they don't owe us much money at all now. So I looked on eBay just to see what was available, because he said, oh, there's a lot of stuff available on eBay for these little bikes. So I had a look on eBay, and this one looks like it's got a new inlet manifold on it, and bits and pieces like that. But the oil tank was missing, and you had to mix your own fuel. And so I jumped on eBay. For $8 I found a download of the Pw50 workshop manual, and it shows you how to check the plunger travel and all that on the little motorbike. So and the other one's got the oil tank on it, like the other knockoff one's got the oil tank and all that, but this one's got the little two-stroke tank missing. So so for $13 I've bought the tank, and I'm just blown away with the price of the parts on these little bikes, how cheap they are. We're just scooting through eBay having a look and seeing what we needed, if we needed anything and all that. And this one, the one I bought, the cables are a bit loose and sloppy, and I thought, oh look, I'll just jump on and see if I can get the kids a couple of new cables. I don't want them jamming, and get it set up properly. This young bloke gets them going pretty good, but they're not how I like them. And he's got a new throttle and a new switch on it and all that sort of stuff. But so we jumps on eBay to have a look, and you can buy a little 20 millimetre carby to go on these mini bikes. You buy the carby, the air cleaner box with the air cleaner, and the two throttle cables for $39. And so I thought, oh, $32, sorry. So I thought, right, I'll first new carbies on both of them, new cables, we'll do that. And over the next day or two, I'm going to actually try and see if I can get the automatic oiler working. And it says between 12 and 25 thou plunger travel on the oil pump, depending on where your throttle setting is, I suppose. So yeah, something more to learn about these little bikes. But yeah, look, I had no idea there was these little knockoffs. I hopped on eBay and I had a look for the knockoffs, and you can buy a lot of Chinese little 50 bikes for $500. Little chain drive things and automatics and things like that. And look, for that money, yeah, the kids could just ride them and rip roar around. And on the second-hand market, like you can buy a little 80 for $300. And they seem to go good. They haven't got any resale really. And so anyway, the kids have got two little Chinese Pw80 knockoffs, and yeah, I'm going to have a fiddle with them and just get them tuned up and get them running nice for them. And oh, another thing, because I was thinking, oh, you know, you buy these second hand, what happens if it needs a set of pistons and rings or something like that? Can you get that? So on eBay they have a full kit to suit these Chinese bikes, and the Pw50 they say, but whether it does or not there I don't know. For $79 you get a new liner, a new barrel complete, a new piston, rings, gudgeon bearings, a new cylinder head, and all the gaskets. So, and I suppose they're the same quality that's in the bikes to start with, but this little bike of Arrow's, you're just one kick and away it goes, or one or two kicks and away it goes. When it's hot it seems to flood a little bit, so when I get the new carbies in we'll have a play there. So yeah, that's just been an interesting thing, trying to I was showing Ariana, before you teach a kid how to go on a motorbike, you've got to teach him how to stop. So I was showing Ari, there's the throttle on. Now if you want to stop, you pull this on. So okay, so she opens the throttle up, goes too fast and just grabs the brake. So the poor little thing, it's bloody loading down. Let go of the brake. She says, I don't want to go too fast. And so we're trying to get her the idea of leave the bloody brake alone and just open him up and back him off, and open him up and back him off. And little Arrow, well, he's just turned 3, and he was sitting on the motorbike, and we had it running, getting ready to go, and he just cracked the throttle open and took off and scared shit out of all of us. and Tim caught him and stopped him, and he was giggling like buggery, and best thing ever. And so they've got these cheap little trainer wheels on this one, and us big blokes have been putting our feet on them and going with the kids, and the kids can work the throttle. Well, Tim's got young Arrow at 3. We're not talking about the brake, it's just on, off, back him off, open him up, back him off. So he's learning, and he's giggling all the way. So that's why I made a little motocross track. I mowed a little motocross track up the front, and I've just come back from video on that for you. So we'll tack that on to the end of the video here. So look, it's been not much bloody tractor work went on, but yeah, with getting the dams cleaned out last weekend, and I put a new pump coupler on the Johnny, which I was going to film, but last Monday when I was trying to, I was getting showers, scuds coming across, and I didn't want the gear outside there doing that, and so I bushed that, just popped it in, and away we went. I haven't done any more on that, but I just spent the day hop up on the roof, and after I did that, I was sunburnt and buggered, so I went and had a shower and had a plonk and had a bit of bloody Jacob's Creek Shiraz, and yeah, had a bit of a sit down and a rest. So anyway, look, not an awful lot's happened. I might take you for a quick walk over to the 135, just show you the final layout of the dash, and I'll show you the PDO, where the PDO studs go. Now there's a little PDO cover there that Quality sells for a TE20, and I just liked it. I thought, oh, that's a neat little PDO cover, so I've put it on the back of the 135. Look, I just like the look of it. It's not original, it's not supposed to be there, but I don't mind it. It just gives you something else to, if you want to stand up or something like that, gives you a place to put your foot without putting it on the round cap sort of thing or whatever. So we'll just see what happens with that. But I'm going to leave it there. I like it now it's on there. So look, I'll go handheld. I've like I say, I've been for a walk up that's last week. Jude's been hammering me. Women have these honey-do lists, and I had to get up a tree and get some mistletoe. Now mistletoe's a parasitic plant that gets in trees and that, and we had one up in a silky oak up the front, so I had to get up there last weekend too and sort all that out. So I've still got leaves in the back of my ute, so I'm hoping shortly the fire ban's lifted. We're not allowed, even though it's green as buggery at the moment, the fire ban's not lifted till next weekend, Australia Day. So we'll just see. I've got a heap of junk there, old pallets and that I'd like to burn to tidy the place up a bit, and a lot of just mucking around to do. But look, we'll go handheld. Once again, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoy our little chats. They seem to go okay. Watch a few ads for me and all that sort of thing. Just see what happens. Look, a shout out to Waterhouse Ford. They've got their sponsorship with Anglo Agri Parts, and they're moving along with the TE20. If you haven't been over there, get over and have a look if you're into tractors. It's just a good little place to. Well, I sort of watch them away, and they're doing things their way, and they've been stripping ahead, and they'll be doing sleeves and all that on a TEA20 or TED20. And look, I haven't done a video on that at all, and so those of you that are interested in that, you might find that interesting. So give them a shout, go and subscribe, and give them a few likes. And it's just a good thing, a dad and his young fella buggering around with an old tractor, and it's got to be good life skills for young Oscar. So look, go and have a look at them, and leave a comment, let them know you're there. Tell them Bundy Bear sent you, and then I'm going to go over and have a look and see if you did or not. All right, have a good week, everyone. Thanks for dropping by. Catch you next week. Well, look at that. What a difference a week can make, eh? The ducks are moved back in, and look, that'd have to have a good couple of feet in it. This is the dam on the left as you're going up to Bundy Bear's shed. Old Kelly Dog thinks it's just bloody good to have a swim again. But as we go, that's Bundy Bear's shed. Look how green the paddock is. That grass there is not very thick. It looks better from here than it really is. And look at this one. What a beauty. We have trouble with cane toads here in Queensland, and I see a couple of piggyback cane toads, so no doubt we'll have some more. But yeah, look, just call me Arsey Lance. Clean them out one week and get quite a bit of water in them the next. So look, I'm very pleased about that. Well, Kelly Dog's had the big swim. I'll go up and show you what else we've been up to. Now this is the front paddock near the house, and if you have a look you can see a little motocross track poppy mowed in the grass here. Look how thick that grass is, just lovely. So with the kids, yeah, we bought them a couple little mini bikes, and I mowed this on Saturday, and it's Monday morning now, and look at the green shoot popping up there just from that little bit of rain we've had. So oh, we're loving it. It's turned from a bit of a hard time really into about what we should expect for this time of year here in Bundaberg. At Bundy here, this is our wet season, or the end of our wet season, so the wet season's come a couple of months too late. Oh, well, not too late, a couple of months late. But yeah, hopefully the grandkids will have a bit of fun on that and yeah, learn to scoot around a little bit. And yeah, just get a bit of throttle control, and if they fall off there's nice soft grass. Now this is up in my little Bundy Bear's little machine shop. Oh, it's a bit untidy but not too bad. I've got the couple of sockets halfway through putting a few sockets away. But this is a new Makita radio I bought for up here. I have a Makita radio up the back, and I'm always sort of it's always in the wrong place, so I took the opportunity to buy another one. I have Makita gear here, so that's why I just went with Makita. And oh look, it does all sorts of things. It does digital. It's all digital, and I haven't got anything Bluetooth to it just at the moment, but I can Bluetooth Spotify into it. It's got a big bass speaker underneath, and I've actually had to put a Steiner book. Underneath. The bass thumps away there, and yeah, it makes this whole tin bookshelf here. It makes that rattle. So I've put a book underneath it to get a bit of just to stabilise it a little bit. And in the new Makitas, the aerial is here. It's actually part of the handle, where the other one had a little rubber, yeah, just a little rubber one sticking up there. And another thing I did do is down on this shelf here is 6 amp hour batteries. Now these are knockoffs, they're Chinese knockoffs, and I've never been a great fan of the knockoff batteries. In the past I've bought them and they haven't lasted particularly long, but that's just in my little bookshelf there. But they haven't lasted particularly long, and I have a couple of 1.5 amp hour ones there, and I have the proper Makita charger in my little hoochie here. Pardon me. But last time I bought some, they lasted about 8 or 9 months, and then they wouldn't take charge anymore. But I looked at buying some more Makitas. I often use 3 amp hour in most things, and the Makitas in Australia were over $100 each, or around $100 each. And these people were offering 2 of these for $90 with 5-year warranty on them through eBay. So, and they were in Australia already. Like, it only took a couple of days to get them here. So I'm going to give them a try just to see. I've got half a dozen batteries, but when you're on a big job or you have a little machine shop up here, which is just in my little hoochie here, you've never got everything in the right spot. So we'll just see how we go. The nut, actually, while we're in here, the nut on here. See, there's that much free play at the moment. Way too much. So then I'll just shift this. So it's something I've been going to do for a little while now, but I've got 3/4 of a turn
slop. So I believe the nut in under here, where it mounts, can get loose, but I just haven't had a chance to pull it all apart yet. So that's something that's bloody giving me the shits a bit. Hopefully hopefully I can get to that soon. We'll see how we go. But the little lathe, I've been turning up in the collet chuck there, I've been turning up a little peg, or a little oil pipe really, for lubricating the little Fairbanks engine. And I finally got back to the Fairbanks engine, and what was going on here was I'm having a bit of a problem at the moment, and in here it said about boring a hole and putting a thread in, and this is 1/4 on this end, but I had a good 6mm cap for in here, 6x1, and I put the 6x1 in, and then I went and did the 6x1 thread on the lathe there, just with a die, not single pointing. And this thread here, if I can get in there, it's just crumbled away. And it was a brand new tap, so, and the tap's good and everything, but this must be a little bit dicky, but I've never had it sort of do anything like that before. So what the go is now is we're going to put a helicoil in there, and I haven't got an awful lot of meat, but look, I'll get it back out here a bit. I haven't got an awful lot of meat, there's plenty there to do what I need to do, but yeah, that thread just crumbled straight out, so I don't know if the casting's a bit dicky or what, but you don't want a dicky casting on a cylinder liner. But I've had this for years. Like, this has been a project I've had for yonks, and just the other day I thought, I might have a fiddle with it, I felt like doing a bit of machining and puddling around, and that's a crank I made, and it's pretty true, all pegged and Loctited and all that sort of thing. But yeah, so it looks like I'm going to have to helicoil this and Loctite a helicoil in, so it's got a decent thread, so in case ever I do have to pull the pipe out for the oiler. So what happens is I suppose I may as well explain it while I'm here. The liner sits in the engine thus. It's pretty snug in there. Yeah, it needs bumping in. I've got it a nice firm fit. And then the oiler, the drip feed oiler I made, sits up here. So yeah, the pipe, I'm just going to bore a bit of brass for the pipe straight down here and for the oiler, but that's where that thread was not working for me, down in there. So it's in the bottom of the cooling jacket, so it's got water all around it, so it has to be a good fit. So there you go. That was just a side thing. I didn't start off the day planning on showing you any of that. And this is a little fella's little mini bike, little Pw50 knockoff. I'll get that up the shed shortly. I do have a few bits and pieces I'd like to do to get it running a bit smoother. But yeah, a few $100, and yeah, the kids will have a ton of fun and they'll be outside. Well, this is the final layout for the dash that I've settled on, and the headlight switch is up here. That's where it was, where they would have been originally. The indicator switch, I've gone with this little fella here, and that'll be out of the way of my knee, and I can still get my leg through there, no worries. This light up here, that's an indicator warning light. The horns here. I still have to get put the cover on here. I can't find the screws at the moment, so that's just Lance bloody losing shit. But apart from that, I think that's going to be the final layout of that. Yeah, look, that's okay, I reckon. It's nice and neat. I still have to find the plate. I have a plate, the blanking plate for here, and that little hole I'm going to leave there, and this little hole I'm going to leave there.
look, they're there. I left them there because I thought I was going to use them for switches and things, and it looks like I may not, but I may still pop a little switch here just for the flashing light. So look, we'll just see. I haven't made my mind up with that yet, but there may be a little switch here or a little switch there for the flashing light. We'll just see. But look, that's coming up okay. And if I come back a little bit here, I'll just show you one of these. But yeah, that's just sitting there at the moment. But I painted that yesterday. That's the holes for the butler lamps. And I'll just go and grab one of the lamps. I painted the lamps as well. They were powder coated, but I sanded that back a little bit, and just in the interest, that's a top link bush, and it just seemed to fit pretty well down over the wiring to keep the thread clean. So that bloke will sit in there now, nice and neat, and it'll be all the right colour and everything like that. So I was hoping to do that today, so I'll just see how I go with that. Get this bolted in, and I've got to finish off the wiring, but I want to paint the drag links first because I'm at a stage where I can go for a drive if I need to, but I also have to drill a hole down in under here to get my wiring in the back to these lights. So I'm tossing up whether I run the wire inside the guard here. You know, I've got a couple of nice little brackets that I could put and go in there, or I am really thinking of coming inside on the tyre side of the mudguard and with a hole through. I've got little clamps that I can hide the wiring behind one of the beams in the mudguard. So yet to make up my mind there, but I'm glad I've got this done because now that gives me the opportunity to just finish this little bit off and finish the wiring off with it. Now that's the PDO studs. Now those nuts aren't the right ones. They're actually rotary home nuts, those nice big long ones, and I like that. And I said to Ross about putting them on, and he said, oh, he doesn't like that, you know, he'd rather have the short ones. And I said, yeah, I don't know, I'm going to leave that there. But we have the cover here. That's a standard cover, and then Quality makes this tiny little, I'll get back out a little bit if I can. Quality makes that tidy little PDO cover there, and I thought, oh look, that's just a neat little thing. I wanted to try one. The only problem I can see with it is, you see how close it comes to here where the pin goes through? So I may need to ditch it yet, but look, I just wanted to try that. The check chains on the, well, on all of them, come from the top hole here, so by the time the pin goes through, I don't think there'll be enough room in there for the check chain to go on. But anyway, I just didn't mind that that little idea. I thought it was quite okay, but looks like it's probably going to have to come off, but yeah, I didn't mind. I'll just see.